All right, now, who said some weightlifting competition can't help get in the holiday spirit? A local gym here in Victoria had a weightlifting competition, and yes, the records were being broken, but there was also an opportunity to give back to the community. In an event sponsored by famous weightlifter Mike Walmack, Victoria's Rocks Gym had a bench pressing competition along with a toy drive. The event was open to the public. Remember, we talked about this event earlier this month where Houston native Chris Sutton set a record for heavy bench press in the state of Texas with 1,200 pounds. As the record was being set, toys was being handed out.
This is the Lift for Gifts, which is a toy drive. We have it every year where people just bring presents instead of entry fees, and we just bring something to the community to give back a little bit.
So this is actually my first powerlifting meet that I'm actually sitting and witnessing. So this is very new to me, and I'm actually very excited to see some of the strongest people in the world in this building in Rock's Gym here in Victoria. So I'm very excited. This is definitely different from what I've been doing the last 4 years. I compete in bodybuilding, so this being a powerlifting meet, it's a whole different world to me. So I'm very excited and very thankful to be here.
The record was previously set by Sutton's teacher, Mike Walmack, who set the record a few years ago, who also played a crucial role in that event.
And my role is pretty much to support however I can. We brought in some of the equipment, some of the specialized equipment that has to be used for some of these really big lifters. You know, there's all kind of different levels you can break in. Not everybody's going to set a state record, a national record, or world record in their first meet, but over time, when you set those small personal goals, it's very similar to life. You set a goal, you reach it, and you just keep moving forward. Same thing with powerlifting. You'll never be satisfied. You'll always be chasing that next number, but it all pays off in the end.
All right, thank you. And as the Texas A&M Aggies prepare for their bowl game matchup against USC this weekend, some might have already had their eyes set on the next season. A&M was scheduled to take on the Tarleton State Texans, which is one of the non-conference games each team is granted before conference play. Well, that game has now changed to a later date, which will be November 21st, 2026. Both schools agreed to this decision. This was all due to a schedule conflict. And we have some sort of good news for the Houston Texans. After an unfortunate injury to their wide receiver, Tank Dell, he suffered a season-ending injury with a torn ACL, dislocated kneecap with other damage. The Houston Texans have now signed Deontay Johnson, fresh off a tenure with the Baltimore Ravens, where he had a total of 363 yards and 3 touchdowns. This could be a big signing for the Texans. The Texans will actually be prepared to take on his former team in the Baltimore Ravens tomorrow on NFL's Christmas Showcase. And that does it for your sports. Trenton?
Thanks, Ray. We're excited for some Christmas football tomorrow. But before that, let's take a look at what some of Santa's legendary helpers are up to as they prepare for the big night ahead. Fear, the holiday spirit is alive and well. Authorities in Dallas County, Iowa have taken the Grinch into custody for stealing Christmas presents. Ethan Toothstain Grinch of Whoville and his sidekick Max will be staying in jail until Santa makes his trek around the world. Officers say they're doing what they can to help Santa stay on track Tuesday ahead of the big event. And speaking of Santa, reindeer at one Vermont farm are resting up and snacking on carrots before they take flight with the big man himself. The Vermont reindeer farm in West Charleston is prepping the legends to hit the sky tonight on Christmas Eve. The reindeer have been training to make sure Santa gets all the gifts out delivered on time. There's a rock out in the pasture, kind of covered with snow. That's called Reindeer Rock. And they have to learn to take off in flight from there. If you keep your eyes peeled tonight, you may just be able to catch a glimpse of them in the sky. And so we're going to take a little bit look at the sky ourselves and take a look at the weather. What kind of weather are they going to be flying through
Active
tonight?
weather currently happening in the crossroads as we speak. If we can take a look at the radar right quick, there's a storm that we're watching mainly near Gillett area, getting close to Cuero and Nordheim and Karnes City. There's a pretty big hail core in that. You see the kind of the white areas inside the red areas in the core of the storm. Moving toward Victoria, we'll see if it lasts all the way down to Victoria. If it does, we'll keep you informed. If it don't, we'll still keep you informed. Another storm there near Gonzales. So stormy night, all out here by about 2 or 3 in the morning. And Christmas Day tomorrow looking pretty nice.
Needed a
Be
nice
weather aware though tonight.
Absolutely, absolutely. We're definitely going to be keeping you on tabs for the weather coming up. But first, President Biden and First Lady Dr. Jill Biden are tracking Santa Claus as he makes his way to the United States on this Christmas Eve. The first couple participated in calls with the North American Aerospace Defense Command, also known as NORAD, tracking the jolly old elf along with wide-eyed children and families across the country. The president posted a photo on X saying that Santa is on his way. NORAD in turn thanks the president and First Lady for answering calls and being special Santa trackers. While NORAD can track Santa, his exact path is always unknown. It depends on the weather and whether kids are sleeping, among other things. At least 100,000 kids call into NORAD each year to inquire about Santa's location, and millions more follow his big red sleigh online. You too could track Santa on NORAD's website at noradsanta.org. And wow, you know, I'll be keeping tabs of Santa. He better be getting my gifts in on time, especially, you know, through the weather. I hope he makes it safe.
I have a feeling that he has a special weatherproofed reindeer and sleigh. So he can just guide through the storms, no problem at all. He's done it for
They're going to be wearing
many
rain
years.
jackets, you'd say.
Absolutely.
Green Tooth Grinch, I love that.
That's hilarious. You guys got anything good for Christmas this year?
Not so far, but get some gifts coming up tomorrow for sure.
Okay, absolutely.
Watching some NBA games and drinking some eggnog.
Yes, sir.
Sounds like a good plan.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for joining us for tonight. We'll see you tomorrow. Merry Christmas.
Merry
to
Christmas.
And to all a good
night.
night.
Yes, sir.